The U.S. sixth-generation fighter plane will dominate the sky. The Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor and the Boeing F-15C-F are both aging platforms and will need to be replaced in the mid-2030s. Moreover, for the U.S. Air Force, it needs to replace the venerable F-15C Eagle, which was supposed to have been replaced by the Raptor, until that program was prematurely terminated. The Navy and the Air Force are still working to determine what kind of capability gaps the new S/AXX and Next Gen Air Dominance (NGAD), formerly known as the FX, will need to address. But it is already becoming apparent that the Pentagon has learned from the $400 billion F-35 Joint Strike Fighter debacle. The F/AXX and the NGAD are likely to be separate programs that share common technologies. As you'll see over the coming years, the differences between the primary mission and the likely threats will drive significant differences between the F/AXX and FX programs, as well as legacy systems like the F-22 and F-35. One senior defense official recently told me, "One of the fundamental failures of the F-35 program stemmed from the Pentagon's stipulation that one size would fit all. Even in 1994, the Pentagon knew that the concept of a one-size-fits-all fighter was fundamentally flawed." Adaptive cycle jet engines adjust modes of operation to maximize fuel efficiency in varied flight conditions. For example, at cruise speeds, an adaptive cycle engine would operate as a high propulsive efficiency, high bypass ratio turbofan. But the engine would act as a turbojet when high specific thrust is required for high speeds. The Air Force is already working on developing a 45,000 volts class adaptive cycle engine that will one day power operational combat aircraft like the FX. But stealth is not going away. The FX and F/AXX will need to have broadband all-aspect stealth, which means that it can't have protruding impinged surfaces like tail fins. Broadband stealth all but mandates a flying wing design. But industry sources say that will be extremely challenging and very possibly impossible even with thrust vectoring. The F/AXX and FX will likely be in service for decades. The jets need to be easily and rapidly upgradable, without the Defense Department and the American taxpayer being held hostage by the contractor. That's perhaps the biggest lesson learned from the Pentagon's F-35 nightmare. The F-22 uses an antiquated proprietary avionics architecture that is nightmarishly difficult and costly to upgrade. The F-35 is better, but the Pentagon is forced to rely on Lockheed to modify the jet. While the Air Force's FX is geared toward the air superiority role, the Navy's S/AXX is being geared toward a multi-role platform. However, as industry officials have pointed out, it is much easier to adapt an air superiority platform into a strike platform than the other way around. The Navy too should consider developing the F/AXX with a bias toward the fighter role. The service should make sure it can support future operations in a high-threat environment in the Western Pacific, where it is certain to encounter Chinese fifth-generation fighters like the J-20. If you enjoy content like this, please go ahead and like and subscribe to this video because I appreciate all your support.